Morning.
Hey, listen, I've been getting a bunch of people asking me about this program you're getting ready to do and what's it about, and what's it like. So instead of me trying to explain it and probably botch it, I figured I'd just ask you a couple of questions if that's all right with you.
Love to do so.
So one of the things that I think makes you a very unique and special lawyer is the time that you spend every day practicing Zen. And I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about that before we talk about the program.
Yeah, I just finished a Zen meditation I do every morning through Facebook with lawyers who have gone through the Zen Core Method course. It came out of that, the need really for me to sit in a traditional way. It's not a guided meditation. It's part of what this course teaches, to sit in silence, centered with myself. And that really, from that, the ability to sit with yourself and know yourself, helps in cases in the courtroom in life.
And all of life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this Zen Core Methods program that you've put together. What's it about?
Yeah, well, I noticed as I was trying cases that there's all the technique we learn, and it's all important. Take courses from everyone, learn those skills and what standards and rules and all that stuff that you want to do. It's important stuff. And I also noticed that what was happening in trial, a lot of it had nothing to do with any of that, that was all on a logical level. It really had to do with how was I in the courtroom, and it was bringing some principles of Zen to that. For example, there's 3 pillars of Zen. There's the Zen Peacemakers organization talks about not knowing, bearing witness, and take action. And so lawyers aren't used to embracing not knowing. Quite the opposite. We want to know everything.
Right. We get nervous when we don't know.
Yeah. We're not used to bearing witness, which just those 2 words alone are a real key to how to be with grieving clients, how to present their case when it seems hopeless to a jury. And I won't get into that. That's what the course gets into. But what I realized was my Zen practice, and whatever is in the moment, bringing that practice to it in the case, in trial, was super helpful to me. It was more important than any of those logical things. And so what I decided, instead of me teaching that, which seems a little pretentious. I mean, there are things I practice, and I want to make sure people get it the right way, is I joined up, our team is the 3 of us. Rinsen Roshi is a Zen master who's also just been invited to his 6th degree black belt in Aikido. So he's part of this course and teaches introduction to Zen meditation, how to count your breaths, how to be in the moment. He spent his whole life doing this. And also in this course, we focus on the Aikido part, which is embodying. We focus on being a physical body in the courtroom, and how do you center yourself? Where do you face? How do you connect with people? And he brings that to us from an Aikido standpoint of how to be centered. The second person involved, there's no order, another person involved is Joshua Carton, amazing trial consultant that many of us know, who teaches communication skills, comes from a theater background. And many people know him from Trial Lawyers College, a very amazing human being who's helped me in my practice probably more than anybody. And we took this course, to go one step, I think, beyond what he's done before. And that was, Joe, that Josh won't work on cases if they're for insurance companies, only plaintiff cases. He has this moral grounding. And so there's actually a part of the Zen component is compassion. It's reducing suffering in the world and looking at our cases and how we bring meaning to ourselves and our clients in the world. So that part of it, we talk about. Joshua works with people individually on presenting. And then I share my actual courtroom experiences. So this course is about how to be in your case, how to be in the courtroom, and ultimately how to be in your life.
Well, and so what should somebody expect if they come? It sounds very different than the typical CLE.
Don't bring a suit and a tie. Bring comfortable clothes to learn to sit and meditate, to get on your feet and be ready to do some work. Be willing to be vulnerable. And we go through that.
I hear that for some people who've not done this kind of things, that may be a little scary to hear. Come prepared to do these things. I mean, can you speak to is the environment, I don't know how to say that, but how welcoming is the environment to somebody who has no background in this at all?
Extremely welcoming. We've spent a lot of time thinking through the first evening is really designed not just as icebreakers on a kind of superficial level, but really to talk about these things, to talk about confidentiality, so that people really feel free to explore, to try things that maybe they wouldn't. I've heard people try these things in trial and I don't feel comfortable. Well, let's give it a try. It's very much a workshop, not lectures. People who come to take notes, you're welcome to, but it's going to be a lot of getting on your feet and practicing. Here's one example. One of the things that we've practiced in the past, because we've done this for many years now, is that feeling, let's say when a juror says, I think you're just in this for the money. I think lawyers are greedy, and I don't trust you. We practice a jury selection like that, and not what words do you use to respond, because that's intellectual, but how can you in your body take that into your center, use skills from Aikido, be of the presence of mind to join that huge disappointment, that huge anger with your practice, and meet the person in the moment. How do you actually do that in your body and your emotions, not just what some clever retort? So it's a lot of the how to be, not just what words to use. And on top of that, we'll practice the words.
I think that's great. And then, I have to ask this question because one person asked me, and it really, and he said, is there religion in this? I mean, do I need to be concerned if I come from a Judeo-Christian background or a Muslim background or something else? Are you going to be, is there an effort to convert people? Is there anything of those kind of things? I know to some people that might sound like a silly question, but I don't mean it to be silly at all. I'm very serious in my question.
I'm grateful for you asking that question. Very grateful. Thank you. So this is not a belief system. There's no effort to convert. Zen is filled with stories of them Zen master slamming the gate in someone's face that you have to want to be there. And still, I understand the concern. Hopefully, COVID allows us to keep meeting in person, but this is scheduled for the end of October 2021. And this will be the first time that it will be in the new Zen temple in Toledo. So it will be in a Zen temple. Judeo-Christian beliefs are based on belief in a creator, belief in the Abrahamic traditions. There's nothing like that. So I would say when you jog, you don't need to have a belief, you just jog. And that's what this is. This is like learn to sit, learn to notice your thoughts, learn to release them. There's no belief, it's all practice. So we have people who practice Zen who are active Catholic nuns, who are active Jews. You can very much be in that tradition, and this does not contradict that. Now, I would say that there's the new Zen temple, the place where we'll meditate, there's a Buddha statue. Being raised Jewish and, all of the talk about idols and whatnot, it took me a while to, am I comfortable with that? Is that what someone's holding up as an idol? And I've learned no. In Zen Buddhism, we're all Buddhas. We're all awakened beings that can be present in the moment. There is no God. There is no anything that I find inconsistent with any Judeo-Christian Islamic beliefs. If you're really concerned about that, feel free to reach out to me, but it is not a religious conversion. We do not expect you to sign up for for any kind of religious.
I guess no. It sounds like no more than going to a karate class would be, where you might see some symbols of something from the tradition of the martial art.
I think that's a great comparison. The same with yoga. I mean, if you go to yoga, and I know there's some people that would think saying namaste at the end or something, that if that's troublesome to your religious beliefs, then maybe check it out with me a little further. But I don't find any problem.
Great. So final question is, what do you hope, you, Michael, hope that people will get from this course?
Yeah, the real honest answer, the first thing that comes to my mind is I've had enough people after this course contact me, and in one case a spouse contact me to say, thank you, you really saved this person's life. They weren't engaged in the practice of law, and it's really changed their life. And I want to give an answer like, oh, people have new skills and they'll report great successes, which people have, and I love hearing that. But really, I hope nothing less than it changes people's lives and outlooks, so that they can be more present in their life, take that to doing good in the world, leave with a framework that we are here every day as lawyers to do good, and that the skills of centering, sitting silently, communication skills, that translates into their life and has great meaning. So I have, it's a lofty
is
answer.
that all? Is that all you want for them? But
I think just to change their life completely so it has full meaning. Yes, nothing more than that.
Nothing more than that. But also, it sounds like they'll leave with some real practical tools, and some practice with those tools, so that they can continue to practice and continue to do these things once they leave, and be part of the community that you've set up for this.
For sure. And I say the big lofty things, that's how I think. And I hope for each of those small things. So the next time someone's client is talking to them about their spouse who was killed in a crash or whatever other difficult situation, that they've practiced and have an idea of exactly how to be with that person, to help the case, and also to be a good human being. So there's very specific things. You're right.
Well, I know that the program will be great. I'm going to do my best to be there myself, and I appreciate your time this morning.